Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. First and foremost, I don't want either of the two heroes that I'm going to mention in this video to get nerfed. I'm not saying that they're overpowered, I'm not asking Blizzard to turn them down, and I'm certainly not expecting them to take that advice on board and to nerf them. But I did want to highlight two specific heroes that I think are a lot stronger than people may let on, and secretly I feel are dictating the way that the game is played and the meta as a whole. A lot of emphasis has been put onto Mercy and Junkrat especially. You don't really need me to tell you why. These heroes both did have a big impact on the game, but with these nerfs coming through, it's fair to say that whether these heroes are going to be still picked a lot or not at all, their impact is going to be reduced dramatically compared to what it was before. I think that's a fair assessment. Regardless of where Mercy ends up, she has been brought down a peg or two, that's for sure. So because of that and all of the other positive changes, I suppose, to competitive, ladder, that kind of thing, you know, the performance-based SR change has been removed, toxicity being clamped down on, it's still present in the game, but it's been dramatically reduced compared to what it was before. But also just the Overwatch League as well. People are watching the games, being really interested and inspired to play Overwatch the way it's kind of meant to be played. So communication's gone up, good sportsmanship I feel has gone up as well as players try and improve. The reason why I feel this is important to bring up is simply we get asked a lot of what heroes the players should be learning for this season, but also the next one as well. Honestly, this season's come by so quickly, we're already halfway through this one, and I can't wait to do my placements again, guys, woohoo. But regardless, a lot of people are asking us what heroes should they learn or practice or main when it comes to learning a hero that's very stable in the meta, that isn't going to be nerfed anytime soon, and it's just generally very impactful and very fun to play. And as I said, two heroes spring to mind. The first one is D.Va. D.Va is a hero that has had a fair few changes in the past, dramatic changes to say the least. There haven't been minor tweaks like we've seen with Mercy, but more major reworks in how her kit and abilities work. Her defense matrix has gone from like 8 seconds of usage to about 3 or 4, and the recharge time on it has been increased as well, meaning that that ability in itself is a lot weaker than what it used to be. Mixing that with the fact that she doesn't have as much armor anymore means that she has been nerfed quite a bit since these changes have gone through. But what she has had is the increase in damage, being able to shoot while flying, and also the rockets as well, which has meant that she is very good at bursting down targets that are around 200 health. If you can nail that combo being able to fly while shooting, firing your missiles, the damage that you do when you actually run into somebody with your flight, with your boosters, but also the melee that you can do as well, should be enough to burst down a lot of these targets. It's very difficult to do, it takes a while to get used to, but man, it's a very strong combo if you could get a Discord orb on that target and just burn them down very quickly. I think the defensive matrix needs to be spoken about as well. It's an ability that's in the same vein as Resurrect. You can turn it down, you can make it effectively useless, but if it's still in the game, it still has a huge amount of impact when it comes to what it can do. A lot of players want to see Res removed from the game, and I do think secretly a lot of players want to see Defense Matrix removed as well. I think in its current state, it's pretty good to run still. I don't think it's necessarily too strong, but I'm sure that most people can see the impact that that ability can have to swallow Gravitons, to swallow Tracer Bombs, eat a good portion of Barrage and Death Blossoms for Pharaohs and Reapers. You get the drift. It's a very strong ability that requires very little use. You just hold down right click and you can shut down a very decent play in itself. So that's hero number one that I feel is controlling the meta quite a lot. She's certainly a hero that I would recommend playing. In fact, I've started to play her a lot myself. But the second hero, we've spoken about this recently. We're talking about Boombox and stuff like that. It's Zenyatta. Zenyatta's Discord orbs are very strong in itself. Being able to increase the amount of damage that a hero in the enemy team takes is pretty big. It doesn't really need explaining any more than that. The Harmony Orb is nice for consistent healing, but as a support he doesn't really put out as much healing as the likes of Mercy or Moira or even Lucio in some cases, I suppose. But the offensive capabilities that this support has is ridiculous, and with Mercy coming out of the meta, regardless of whether this change is going to be drastic or not, we're still going to see a lot of Zenyatta, and he's going to be in a really staple spot. I really do think if there are people here that want to learn a new hero that's fun to play, impactful, and generally a little bit strong that's worth noting, it's certainly these two heroes. And the reason why I wanted to highlight them in particular is because regardless of whether these Junkrat and Mercy changes are going to be huge or not, or whether there's going to be other changes in the future, I still think that these heroes are going to be in a strong spot alongside the likes of Tracer. Tracer is an obvious hero that I think does define the meta, but these ones are more secretive, I suppose. They're certainly more subtle, but if you talk to any pro player about these two heroes, they will tell you to run them as much much as possible. I remember Smek said to me that D.Va was a little bit broken, so I felt that this was worth highlighting. Again, I wouldn't nerf these heroes at all. I think they're in a strong spot. It's just when you combine these two together, especially, you do see a lot of impact coming from their play, and really it's too much to give out on. And so I definitely give them a whirl if you're looking for a new hero to play. That kind of answers that question as well, who should be played for the next 2 seasons. I'd certainly look at these 2 heroes in particular, but also play who you want. Play who you find fun. But that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time.